Why don't flamingos fall over when they sleep on one leg? Flamingos are one of nature's most visually iconic birds. With their striking pink feathers, long slender legs, and curved beaks, they've become a symbol of elegance and exotic beauty. But beyond their looks, there's something about flamingos that continues to puzzle scientists and fascinate the public. Why do they stand and even sleep on one leg? At first glance, this behavior seems odd, even risky. Balancing on one leg isn't easy. Not for us, and certainly not while sleeping. Yet flamingos do this for hours, often with their eyes closed, seemingly defying the rules of balance and gravity. How is it possible that they don't tip over? How can they rest so peacefully in such a delicate position? To understand this strange yet beautiful behavior, we need to look deeper into their biology, their evolutionary history, and the environments in which they live. The flamingos live in some of the world's most extreme environments: shallow saline lakes, hot alkaline lagoons, and muddy wetlands. These habitats are often inhospitable to other animals, but flamingos thrive in them thanks to a series of unique adaptations. From their specially shaped beaks that filter out algae and small crustaceans, to their tough skin that can handle harsh waters. Everything about the flamingo has evolved to meet its environment's demands, and that includes the way they stand. When you see a flamingo balancing calmly on one leg, the first assumption might be that it's simply a comfortable resting position, but science has shown it's far more than that. The biomechanics of balance. For a long time, scientists believed that flamingos were constantly engaging their leg muscles to stay upright. After all, humans must actively contract muscles to maintain posture and balance, especially on one leg. But there was a problem with that theory. Muscle activity burns energy. And in the animal kingdom, wasting energy is a serious disadvantage, especially when sleeping or resting. Then came a fascinating breakthrough. In 2017, researchers at the Georgia Institute of Technology and Emory University conducted a series of biomechanical experiments on flamingos, including tests on deceased specimens. What they discovered was extraordinary. When they placed a dead flamingo into the classic one-legged stance, the bird remained upright without falling. This meant no muscular effort was needed at all. The posture itself, the way the joints and tendons aligned, provided passive stability. In other words, flamingos have a unique locking mechanism in their legs. When they stand on one leg, their joints align in such a way that gravity keeps them perfectly balanced. No muscle work, no effort, just natural engineering. This kind of mechanism isn't completely unheard of. Horses and some other animals have stay apparatuses in their legs to help them rest while standing. But the flamingo takes it to another level, achieving balance so perfectly that it's even more stable on one leg than on two. Why not two legs? It might seem counterintuitive, but flamingos are actually less stable when standing on both legs. When they use both, they constantly make tiny muscular adjustments to stay upright, just like we do. But when on one leg, the body aligns in such a way that they enter a stable equilibrium. It's almost like placing a marble in a bowl. Once in the right spot, it stays there without moving. This behavior is a beautiful example of how evolution shapes not just how animals look, but how they function. Thermoregulation and energy efficiency. Standing on one leg also helps flamingos conserve body heat. These birds often stand in water, and water, as you might know, conducts heat away from the body far faster than air. By lifting one leg out of the water, the flamingo reduces heat loss through its limbs. Alternating legs ensures that both sides get a chance to warm up, maintaining balance and comfort throughout the day and night. This is especially important during cooler seasons, or in high-altitude environments where flamingos are sometimes exposed to surprisingly low temperatures, particularly at night. It's a perfect example of an adaptation that serves multiple purposes: balance, rest, and temperature regulation, all achieved through one simple behavior. Flamingo sleep, a study in stillness. Flamingos often sleep standing, neck curled back over their body, beak tucked under a wing. When resting like this, one leg remains straight while the other is folded tightly against the body. This isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Standing up during sleep allows flamingos to remain alert. In a group, if danger approaches, a predator, or a sudden disturbance, they can react more quickly from a standing position than if they were lying down. It's another layer of evolutionary logic behind the pose. Interestingly, they also appear to alternate which leg they stand on. Some scientists believe this reduces muscle fatigue and promotes better blood circulation, similar to how we might shift our weight from one foot to another after standing for a long time. The difference is that flamingos have mastered the art of turning this into a graceful and efficient routine. What can we learn from flamingos? The study of flamingos has gone far beyond biology. Engineers and roboticists are now looking at flamingo anatomy as inspiration for building better robots, especially those that walk on two legs. Imagine a robot that can lock into a standing position without using battery power, just like a flamingo does naturally. That's the power of biomimicry, learning from the designs of nature. Even in prosthetic design, the concept of passive stability is being explored. How can we make artificial limbs that don't rely on motors or constant tension? Flamingos might be showing us the way. So next time you see a flamingo in a zoo, in a documentary, or maybe even in the wild, take a closer look. That one-leg stance isn't just a quirky trait. It's a masterpiece of evolution. A living example of how nature uses the simplest possible solution to solve complex problems. In one quiet pose, flamingos conserve energy, regulate body temperature, maintain awareness, and sleep peacefully, all while doing something that looks impossibly delicate to us. And all of this without falling over. If this story made you pause and say, "Wow, I had no idea," then imagine what other wonders the natural world has waiting for us. Like this video if you learned something new. Share it with someone curious, especially that one friend who loves weird animal facts. And if you enjoy discovering the science behind nature's mysteries, subscribe to the channel, because in nature, even something as small as a single leg can carry the weight of an extraordinary story.